Love. Love. Isn't love beautiful? Some guy fall in love with a sweet and funny girl. Others go for the quiet and mysterious one. And then there is this guy who falls in love with a girl that spends her free time trying to conquer the world. And not exactly in a Pacific way. But hey, we're not here to judge, are we? Are we? An anime about a hero and a villain who fall in love with each other. But, Power Rangers Edition. Which actually brings me back to my childhood when I used to binge over Power Rangers on TV.
Good times!
Today we're talking about Love After World Domination. An anime where good and evil team up. But not for saving the world, but to go on dates. Okay, it looks like just another silly rom-com, but if we take just a little deeper look, it can teach us something good, which is that God can turn evil into good. I usually don't recommend ecchi anime, because honestly, over-sexualized fan service tends to disgust me, but here, there is so little of fan service that I almost will classify as non-existent. Said this, let's go. For those who don't know, Love After World Domination is about Fudo, the leader of the Gelato 5, which literally means ice cream 5, because gelato is ice cream in Italian, and I'm Italian, so. A team of superheroes with super tight suits that fight crime who falls in love with Desumi, the most feared villain of the evil organization called Gekko. Oh no, those masks are terrifying! Looks like they bought them on eBay for $2. In their word, this love is wrong, forbidden, impossible. But this very love helps them grow. And this story, even if it sounds crazy or even silly, it reminds us of something that happens all the time in the Bible. God takes what seems evil and turns it into good. Let's go through some silly examples. Take Joseph, for example, okay? His brother literally sold him as a slave, ending up in Egypt. Beautiful family, right? Top tier brother of the year. But in the end, thanks to that very evil act, Joseph saves the entire people of Israel from famine. And he says straight, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Just like with Fudo and Desumi, their love, seen as wrong by practically everyone else, starts to change the people around them. It's no longer just a forbidden story. It actually starts bringing light into darkness. Or think about St. Paul. The guy literally started out with one clear goal: destroy the church. Easy peasy, right? Then Jesus meets him on the road to Damascus, which is basically a Dark Souls boss fight where Paul gets one-shotted by a divine light.
Solar flare!
And then, boom! Paul becomes one of the most important and Chad apostle in history. Once again, evil turns into good. God flips the whole thing around. The enemy becomes an instrument of salvation, kind of like Desumi, who starts as an ultimate villain, but ends up being more human and more capable of loving than most of our heroes who, let's be honest, just love being in the spotlight, like this dude over here.
We meet again, gorgeous.
And then there's the biggest example, which we couldn't afford to eliminate, which is the cross. Back then, the cross was nothing more than a tool of torture, humiliation and death, and it was one of the worst way to go. Not that the alternatives were great, but the Romans yeah, they really took pride in being creatively cruel, as if they were competing on something. But God turned the cross into the universal symbol of salvation. Chef kiss on narrative. This is literally God's ability, which is taking what looks like failure, mistake, sin, and turning it into victory. So, even in Love After World Domination, we're looking at something that shouldn't technically work, a love for two complete opposite sides, something that the world was seen as wrong, but right there, we see something beautiful. What seems wrong can actually turn into something good. Not because it's perfect, but because it transforms people. And that's exactly what God does with us every day. How many times in life do we go through a situation that seems like a disaster? Maybe we feel lost or hurt or stuck in failure. But God can turn it all around. Even things that starts bad, like you, can end well if you let Him work. So yeah, Love After World Domination, it's a light-hearted anime, but maybe it's telling us something deeper. God loves flipping stories. And maybe, just like Fudo and Decimi, we'll discover that good and evil aren't always where we thought they were. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down here if you ever seen God working in the weirdest moments of your life. And I'll see you in the next episode. Stay blessed, stay weird, and glory be to God. And yes, you just watched an entire video about a team called Gelato 5, Ice Cream 5, without even a single pun about ice cream. But that's only because I'm hungry.